It's Super Tuesday, which means presidential candidates have swarmed the Sooner State asking for your vote, and our reporters were there.
Also, do you have only a few minutes for lunch between classes? We'll tell you how you can get your food quicker for a small fee.
And in sports, we'll show you how the OSU basketball team is hobbling along without its star players.
That and more coming up next on the OState Report. Hello, and welcome to this edition of the OState Report. I'm Madison Reichert.
And I'm Curtis Quillen. Thank you for joining us. We begin with the presidential race on this Super Tuesday. This day will shape the rest of the 2016 presidential race.
On Monday, Monmouth University released a poll previewing what we will likely see in the Sooner State on the big day. The state of Oklahoma, the poll shows that on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders has a 5-point lead over Hillary Clinton. On the Republican side, it is a little more spread out. Donald Trump is leading with 35%, while Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio are fighting it out for second.
Because it's such a tight race, candidates made their way through the Sooner State last week trying to get every vote they could. Two of them provided plenty of entertainment in their campaigns at the expense of the other. Senator Marco Rubio attacked businessman Donald Trump in a spirited debate on CNN Thursday night, and I was there the next day when they brought their fight to Oklahoma.
Well, you don't know anything about business.
Well, I don't know anything about bankrupting four companies. If he builds the wall the way he built Trump Towers, he'll be using illegal immigrant labor to do it.
He lied, 100%.
If he hadn't inherited $200 million, you know where Donald Trump would be right now? Selling watches in Manhattan.
First of all, very few people listen to your radio show. That's the good news.
A lot of these positions that he's now taking are new to him. You may not be aware of this, Donald, because you don't follow this stuff very closely.
I know you're embarrassed. I know you're embarrassed, but keep fighting, keep swinging, man. Swing for the fences. I watched him melt down, and I'll tell you, it was one of the saddest things I've ever seen. We had a lot of fun up here tonight, I have to tell you. Thank you for the book.
Donald, relax.
Go ahead, I'm relaxed. You're the basket case.
Thurday night, Donald Trump and Marco Rubio were taking shots at each other on a stage in Houston. Friday, they were in Oklahoma City, and guess what? They were still throwing punches.
Let's read some tweets. Now, I have a Samsung because I can't remember my password. Only the FBI could help me get into an Apple, so. All right, here we go. He began early this morning at 6:46 a.m. Okay, that's pretty early. Lightweight Marco Rubio was working hard last night. The working hard part is true. The problem is he's a choker, and once a choker, always a chocker.
Last night, I saw him backstage with makeup where he's taking it with a trowel and putting it on.
The senator's views here in OKC were rather popular, arguably his most popular, though, declaring Donald Trump a con man.
We are not going to lose. We are not going to lose the party of Reagan, and we are not going to lose the conservative movement to a con man.
Down the street at Trump's rally, things started off with a bang, courtesy of New Jersey Governor Chris Christie.
I am happy to be here and announce that I endorse Donald Trump for President of the United States.
Just a couple hours later now, we're right down the street. Donald Trump took advantage of one early protest in his rally to express his anti-law enforcement views in making America great again.
You see, in the good old days, law enforcement acted a lot quicker than this. A lot quicker. In the good old days, they'd rip him out of that seat so fast. But today, everybody's politically correct. Our country's going to hell with being politically correct.
The protester was one of 5 people removed by law enforcement in the first 15 minutes of Trump's rally. Trump is easily the most controversial candidate in this race, and one might argue Christie's endorsement is a huge coup. After his rally, Rubio announced he would have not only another rally in Oklahoma, but that it would be in the Tulsa area last night at a local high school. Why do Republicans care so much about Oklahoma? Well, the last time a Democrat won this state was the 1960s.
Many of Donald Trump's fans have said they like him as a candidate because he's running as a political outsider. But he's not the only person running an anti-establishment campaign. Sydney Gray takes us to Tulsa to introduce us to the outsider on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders.
Look at how he grew in Tulsa.
Oklahoma's history of support for Republican nominees isn't stopping Democrats in this state. As you can see behind me, there's thousands of supporters here at the Bernie Sanders rally at the Cox Center in Tulsa, and it's right before Super Tuesday. Some supporters say there's plenty of reasons why they are backing his campaign, like Sand Springs' Tracy Smith.
The equality for women, the minimum wage being raised to a living wage, the free college for anybody who wants to go, getting rid of the big banks and the big corporation controlling this country. Getting it back to the people.
Smith says she trusts Bernie because he's consistent and all about the people. Those qualities, she says, are what make him a better choice than frontrunner Hillary Clinton.
And that is why together we are going to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, $15 an hour.
More for humanity, not so much about appearances. I think he's all about his heart. I think he speaks his heart. I don't think he's got an agenda other than what he says.
More than 6,000 people lined up to feel the burn. Supporters like Smith say they aren't discouraged by Oklahoma's conservative history. Instead, they see an opportunity to provide a voice for the minority.
He's just been really open-minded about issues that affect everybody across the board. So I really like that.
For OState TV, I'm Sydney Gray.
Polls have shown that Bernie Sanders is extremely popular among college-age voters. You may have seen some of his bumper stickers and signs around campus. So are OSU students planning to vote, and who are they planning to vote for? Here is Anna Marie Arberg.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, voters between the ages of 18 and 24 have consistently voted at lower rates than any other age group in every presidential election since 1962. But for the 2016 election, it might be a different story.
To easily beat Hillary or Bernie or whoever the hell they throw up there.
Candidates like Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, and Hillary Clinton are all generating a lot of attention, which some say could lead to a rise in young voter turnouts.
This election year right now, there seems to be a lot of interest. So all signs are that turnout overall is going to increase and that turnout among young people is going to increase.
I spoke with some OSU students about their opinion on why they do or do not plan to vote.
I see where the country is going, and we need young people to vote because we are the future. And if we don't vote, then we can't complain.
While Holbrook says she plans to vote, she is by far in the minority.
Oklahoma had the second lowest voter turnout for 18 to 29-year-olds. Right? Only about 27% of 18 to 29-year-olds voted.
So why is it that turnout for young people has been low in the past? Is it a lack of interest, an inconvenience, or maybe just uncertainty about the process?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if the process was easier or just like faster, like maybe online you could do it, I think a lot more college students would sign up. I know I would.
For those wondering about the registration process, you simply pick up an application here at the post office, the tag agency, or download it from the state election board website. You then mail it to the address on the form. Once approved, you'll receive your registration card, and you are then ready to vote. Holbrook says she hopes her generation will change their ways and cast their vote.
I think there needs to just be a big change because the young generation has to vote. The older generation's going to die off eventually, and we're going to be the ones here.
For OState TV, I'm Anna Marie Arberg.
When we come back, everyone is happy with low gas prices, but we'll show you the negative impact.
And Oklahomans are used to dealing with tornadoes, but are our homes ready for earthquakes? Next.
I'm Burns Hargis, president of Oklahoma State University, and it's an exciting time here at OSU. We have record enrollment growth, record fundraising, and we're transforming the facilities at all 5 of our campuses. Our university is a premier land-grant institution. Land-grant institutions were created by Abraham Lincoln because he believed every citizen should have the opportunity to earn a college degree. Our job is to train great talent, to do great research, and to share both with our state, the nation, and the world. Video is a very effective way of us telling our story, and it's a special story. It's a special story of transforming lives all over this planet. Video also enables us to connect with the OSU family, whether they're students or alumni or donors or just friends of the university. We're excited to launch OState TV, a digital video network which will enable us to showcase our great work here at Oklahoma State and to fulfill our land-grant mission of instruction, research, and outreach. OState TV makes it easier than ever to find and view OSU videos. And you can see them on a variety of devices, whether it's your computer, your smartphone, a tablet, or any other device that will play digital videos. You're able to find videos on a variety of topics from all of our colleges across all our campuses, as well as athletics. I invite you to explore OState TV. Check out the various channels. In particular, have a look at those videos that were created for the launch of this digital network. These videos do a great job of showcasing our people, our campuses, and our land-grant mission of instruction, research, and outreach. These videos demonstrate that OSU is a very special place. We hope you enjoy OState TV. And always remember, go Pokes!
Gas prices are at levels they haven't been at in years.
According to GasBuddy.com, the average price for a gallon of gas in Oklahoma is $1.66, and that price is actually up since bottoming out in February.
These prices may be good for your wallet, but they're not good for the Oklahoma economy. Nate Belt is at the pump.
Gas prices are the lowest they've been in years all across the country, and although that's a great thing for commuters like me, it may not be good for everybody.
The economy in Oklahoma relies heavily on the oil and gas industry. With prices being so low, it's hard for large companies to make money.
In Oklahoma, in order for the wells to pay off, for them to make money and still keep them going, I think you need about $40 or $50 a barrel of oil. It's 30 now. And so there's no way they can extract it and make any money.
Companies such as Devon Energy are facing layoffs of as much as 25% of their workforces. And with oil prices continuing to drop, the percentage may be on the rise. With unemployment in the industry growing, it is easy to think oil and gas prices would be a topic heavily discussed among candidates in this year's presidential election. However, that does not appear to be the case.
It's interesting. I haven't heard anyone really talking about it this election yet. And why that's interesting is previous elections, it always is a topic of conversation. And usually it's because we're coming into an election year with very high gas prices. But it's kind of funny that on the reverse, they are so low right now, we're not getting kind of a lot of attention on that at all.
Fortunately for the U.S. economy, employment in the oil and gas industry currently only accounts for roughly 0.5% of total employment in the country. On a smaller scale, however, more than 114,000 jobs have been lost in Oklahoma in the last year, and for the time being, it appears that number will continue to grow. For OState TV, I'm Nate Bell.
Oklahomans seem to be ready for anything Mother Nature decides to throw their way. Construction managers, architects, and engineers have a lot on their hands regarding the safe living environments of Oklahoma residents. Now, because Oklahoma buildings are designed to withstand such high winds because of tornadoes, this adds stability in case of an earthquake. In November 2015, the Uniform Building Code Commission made modifications to the International Building Code. This is a set of rules that specify the minimum standards for constructed objects. These rules must be applied by architects, engineers, constructors, and regulators.
So Oklahoma has a pretty high standard for earthquake and tornado construction already as far as the rigidity of the houses, but as earthquakes continue, that standard may rise.
Most cities in Oklahoma have adopted the code standards, which now says the buildings should be built to withstand the largest earthquake likely to occur in the region. As time progresses, the regional standards may go up throughout the state.
With a campus that has as many students as OSU, it can be hard to grab a quick bite to eat. One company is trying to change that. Since 2011, the company Tap & Go has taken college campuses by storm. The service benefits students who are on the go and purchasing meals quickly. With the iPhone app, a person can order food in advance to be ready when they pick it up. CEO Daniel Almog told Forbes the company is designed to blend into each store without disruption. OSU student Kate Guest has a different take.
Because the people that are working are so focused on the people that are getting Tap & Go that they're neglecting the people that are face-to-face with them.
Tap & Go also provides a delivery service entirely staffed by students. Some say the delivery fee may be worth the service for students on a tight budget. It's designed for restaurants both on and off campus. 17 restaurants in Stillwater offer the service. The big story in entertainment news this week was the Grammys.
It's not just about who did and didn't win, it's also about what they wore. Here's Allie Brooks with this week's I'm Just Saying.
The Grammy Awards, an event where the most famous celebrities get to show off their style. And by style, I mostly mean lack thereof. This year's Grammys was a muted night for the fashion world. Did designers just hit overload? I mean, Fashion Week was close to the same time. Maybe the musicians thought, even though enough fashion credit, let's dress in the most bland or hideous outfits we can find. You know there's a problem when Taylor Swift is the most exciting thing to hit the red carpet. She looked like Dora the Explorer, for crying out loud. How is this fashion? Since when has style lost modesty and elegance? I know that the Grammys isn't about the fashion and it's more about the music, but you would think that given the amount of publicity this awards show gets, celebs would care a little more. There were musicians showing up in pajamas, dresses that looked like Venom from Spider-Man had taken over their wardrobe, and then you had the just plain weird ones. I'm all for showing off your style on the red carpet, but some were just a little too eccentric, and it looked like they were trying way too hard to stand out. While I'm at it, let's talk about the men at the Grammys. For the most part, they did pretty well in the fashion category, I thought. The only one who came as a shock to me was Nick Jonas. Who wears plaid anymore? Yes, times are changing and fashion is always evolving, but I wish we could take a step back to some of the Grammys several years ago, where the music wasn't auto-tuned and the wardrobes were chic. Here's to hoping that next year's Grammys is a little less of a disappointment and more of a fashion-forward phenomena. I'm just saying.
Coming up in sports, OSU indoor track raced to another title, while men's basketball prepares for the Big 12 tournament. We'll take a look at how much the point guard position will affect the team's postseason bid. And Curtis Quillen examines OSU wrestling after a disappointing loss to Penn State.
This is your time to grow, to become a leader in every respect, by serving others before yourself, and together, achieving far more than you ever thought possible. You're not just here for an education, but to forever color your future.
It's an attitude, it's a pride.
It represents community, it represents family.
It's something that I know that I'll always be able to come back to.
The color orange means everything to me.
There is nothing muted about it.
The color orange is so bold and bright, and it represents the spirit and energy that every cowboy has.
How can you not bleed orange would be my question.
55,000 people, and it's all orange, and it really is an amazing, amazing sight.
Orange is that feeling when you're more proud of anything than you've ever been in your whole life. It's something that you have to put yourself in to really appreciate. We're cowboys.
We face the day with purpose. We speak truthfully, if we need to speak at all. Promises are what we keep. Anger is what we don't. Whatever must be done, we do it. Until it's done. Until it's right. We show respect and work to earn it. We live this code. We are this code.
We are cowboys!
Are you a cowboy?
The weather is nice, there's less than 3 months of classes left, and OSU Athletics picked up another Big 12 title last weekend. The men's indoor track and field squeaked by Texas to clinch the conference championship in the final race of the day. The 4x4 relay team finished with 5th overall, enough to put them 1.5 points ahead of the Longhorns. The title is the team's second in the last 3 seasons. OSU left the meet with 7 Big 12 titles and 36 all Big 12 honors. Cowgirl softball and Cowboy baseball were on the road this weekend against top-ranked opponents. The Cowboys took on North Carolina Tar Heels in a 3-game series. Incredibly, OSU lost each of the 3 to walk-off hits. As for the Cowgirls, OSU went 1 for 4 at the Marionette Classic in Palm Springs. The team's sole win came in an 8-4 victory over Pac-12 powerhouse Washington. Softball stays on the road for a Wednesday matchup at Arkansas. The NFL may be in off-season, but all eyes were on draft prospects at this weekend's Combine. Jimmy Bean, Kevin Peterson, and Emmanuel Ogbah were all in Indianapolis to show off their football skills. Ogbah in particular wowed spectators. The 270-pound defensive end recorded a 4.62 40-yard dash, placing him second among D linemen. Ogbah also placed second in the vertical jump and third in the broad jump. The Big 12 Wrestling Championship kicks off this Saturday, and OSU heads in with plenty of momentum. Curtis Quillen grapples with where that took them and how they'll keep it.
Entering the Pokes senior night match against North Carolina, the Cowboys had won 10 straight matches. The night started with an exhibition at 197 pounds to get freshman Andrew Marsden eligible for the NCAA championships. Marsden won by fall in sudden victory, and that started the rout. Eddie Clamara won by technical fall, and Gary Wayne Harding added a major decision, giving the Cowboys 2 bonus point wins to open the night. Two-time defending national champion Alex Derringer and heavyweight Austin Marsden added 2 more later in the night. At 174 pounds, OState's Chandler Rogers upset nationally ranked number 2 Ethan Ramos. By the time Friday's duel ended, former OSU fan favorite Coleman Scott was frustrated, and the Cowboys toppled the Tar Heels 33-6. Sunday, though, was a different story. The Pokes struggled against Penn State in the National Bowl Duel Series matchup in State College, falling 29-18 to the Nittany Lions. The day started with Cowboy Eddie Clamara getting pinned in less than 4 minutes. Ryan Blees and Andrew Marsden were also pinned, and the Cowboys went 4-6 overall. The loss to Penn State snapped an 11-match win streak for the Cowboys. So how do they get that momentum back going into the Big 12s on March 4th?
You go win. Yeah, you just win matches, you know. I mean, that's if you lose, you lose. That's how you do it. You win matches. You win tough, tight matches.
Seedings for the Big 12 championships should be announced next week. For OState TV, I'm Curtis Quillen.
Friday is senior night for Cowboy basketball. It's been a tough season for players and fans, no doubt largely due to injury. Starting point guard Phil Forte was out before the regular season even started. And just when coach Travis Ford thought he found his replacement in Juwan Evans, the freshman sustained a right shoulder injury against Texas Tech. Insert Tyree Griffin, the only remaining true point guard on the roster.
Numbers aren't great, but man, look what we required him to do. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I was proud of his fight. Again, as you're always going to get from Tyree Griffin, he's a guy you want in your foxhole. You can go to war with him.
It's no secret the Cowboys have a gaping hole in the top of the arc, despite noteworthy effort from Griffin. OSU remains at the bottom of the Big 12 standings with a 3-14 record. So what's left for the Cowboys? The Big 12 tournament standings will be released Saturday, and with its loss to the Cyclones Monday night, OSU cannot place higher than 9th. With OU and Kansas, the clear favorites in the tournament, the Cowboys' end to their season may only be a few games away. Luckily for fans, sports will be moving out of Gallagher-Iba and onto the diamond. Back to you guys.
That's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. For OState Report, I'm Madison Reichert.
And I'm Curtis Quillen. We'll see you next time on OState TV.